The four suspects accused of murdering Gauteng policeman Major General Tirani Maswangani continue their bail application in the Pretoria North District Court, and legal teams representing Lonmin mineworkers at the Marikana Commission of Inquiry are to file papers at the Constitutional Court. I'm Richard Brooks. The four suspects accused of murdering Gauteng policeman Major General Tirani Maswangani will continue their bail application this morning in the Pretoria North District Court. The case was postponed 2 weeks ago to wait for instructions from the Director of Public Prosecutions. The suspects were remanded in custody. Maswangani's body was found last month on the R101 road near Hammanskraal, north of Pretoria, with his feet and hands tied. He had been bludgeoned to death. Meanwhile, the girlfriend of one of the suspects says she has proof that he was at home when Maswangani was murdered. She says, however, that the police are refusing to listen to her side of the story. Edwin Itsidi reports.
Togo, not her real name, has told the SABC that it's impossible that her boyfriend committed the murder.
We then requested footage of his whereabouts of this particular day, and I was communicating with him throughout the day. When I came home at about 2 o'clock, he was home afternoon, which would have meant he would have had to fly from Hammanskraal.
She says she now fears for her life because a number of people have approached her at her home with unmarked vehicles and have been refusing to identify themselves.
If I am on my own, I'm vulnerable because of the fact that the last encounter I had with them was not a very pleasant one.
Police are yet to comment on these allegations. Meanwhile, Togo's boyfriend and his co-accused are back in court today. Edwin Itsidi, SABC News.
Legal teams representing wounded and arrested Lonmin mineworkers at the Marikana Commission of Inquiry are to file papers at the Constitutional Court today. The lawyers want to compel the state to fund legal fees for the mineworkers at the commission. The commission is probing the deaths of 44 people in Marikana in August last year during a 6-week unprotected strike. The commission has been plagued by postponements. Relani Baloy has more.
The North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria dismissed Advocate Dali Mpofu's application to force the state to fund the mine workers. Mpofu temporarily withdrew his services at the commission. Several other teams, including the Legal Resources Centre, the lawyers for the families of the deceased miners, and AMCU, walked out in solidarity with Mpofu. Yesterday, Commission Chair Judge Ian Falem postponed the commission to tomorrow, saying there was a potential donor who might come to the party by then. Mpofu had earlier requested for a postponement to the 19th of August, pending the Constitutional Court hearing. The commission has been scheduled to complete its work on October the 31st. Rulani Baloy, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Trade and Industry Minister Rob Davies says more partnerships are needed between universities and government to establish an economic path for municipalities. He was speaking at the launch of a full-time bachelor's degree in local economic development at the University of the Western Cape in Cape Town. The course is the only one of its kind in the country. Davies explains.
At local government level, there is a very, very strong need to boost the skills around local economic development. That means identifying the opportunities for economic development in any particular municipality, strengthening the capacity of programs like the independent development programs, but then also creating opportunities and making sure those opportunities are realized for small businesses.
Zimbabwe's Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai has held his last rally ahead of tomorrow's election. Tsvangirai says he doesn't trust the country's electoral body to conduct free and fair elections and called for their resignation. Speaking to more than 50,000 supporters in Harare, Tsvangirai said he feared the same vote rigging that marred elections in 2008. He says the Electoral Commission has shown its lack of preparedness after chaos marked early voting on July 14 and 15 for the police and the army. Tsvangirai has urged his supporters to vote for him.
Under my leadership, cast away your bitterness and join me in rebuilding Zimbabwe. Let us show maturity by embracing our erstwhile opponents, some of whom are not repentant, by working hand in hand with them as we build a new Zimbabwe. Our freedom will never be complete until we throw away the shackles of bitterness. After all, this is done. I want President Mugabe to enjoy his retirement in peace and comfort of his homeland.